Okay, greetings everyone and welcome to the Week 8 presentation for our online college writing course. I'm going to walk you through all of the work that is due this week. So first you've got Serial Episode 8. You're going to listen to the deal with Jay. Most students are super excited to get here because they've been asking themselves for a while, what's the deal with Jay? Well, Sarah Koenig must have known that because she devoted an entire episode to that. So listen to the episode, do your discussion board, and then your curiosity quest is due this week. Remember, you can pick any question you had from episodes 5, 6, 7, or 8. Pick your best question, and then do your curiosity quest if you've forgotten how. The directions are in the content folder. Also, remember that when you are listening to your Podmates Curiosity Quest, which, as a reminder, your quest is due on Wednesday because you have to have time for everyone to listen to it, and then your replies are due on Friday. Don't forget the reason you're listening to all of your classmates or your Podmates Curiosity Quests. You want to make sure that you're thinking about what your thesis is going to be for your final podcast argument that's on the Serial podcast. Remember, you'll be presenting an argument for how you feel about Anand's guilt or his innocence, or maybe you're going to feel that he's not guilty, that he's not necessarily innocent, but there's not enough evidence, and maybe that you'll take that middle ground. But you need to be thinking about how you feel about all of this, because you want to be collecting the best evidence that's going to make the best argument at the end of the semester. So if one of your peers has a really fantastic curiosity quest, you're going to want to make note of it, write it down, so that you can use some of their research in your final project. So it's super important when you listen to your Podmates Curiosity Quests that you are writing down the ones that are going to help your argument. Now, the ones that aren't, if someone disagrees with what your final thesis is, don't forget you'll have to have a counter argument, so you'll have to be prepared to deal with what they're saying. So it's important to also know what the ones, let's say if you are feeling like Anand is innocent, if you're listening to podcasts that present his guilt, well, then you're going to want to make sure that you know how to deal with those facts that make Anand look guilty. So it's a good idea to keep track of the really good curiosity quests along the way so that at the end of the semester you're not forced to re-listen to everything because you can't remember which one was the one you needed, right? So make sure you're making note of things and paying attention, okay? So that's Serial for this week. Next, you're going to do an assignment called Legal Justice and the Green Sheets. The green sheet is pictured here, and this is the graphic organizer we will be using to help us synthesize all these different justice types. So there's a voice thread. Here's a screenshot of the voice thread. You are going to listen and participate in the voice thread. I will lead you through how to fill out the gray sheet and the green sheet for legal justice. Remember, the legal justice is my teaching unit, and then all of the other justice types are what you'll be using in your paper. So I'm going to walk you through the green sheet, which is here, the gray sheet, which is here. And while you aren't going to be completing any more gray sheets this week, it's important to see how they're done because we will circle back to them in a few weeks. Then you're going to see in this folder, I'll just kind of tell you what the rest of this is. My example, again, is with legal justice. So here is my gray sheet on legal justice, and here are PDFs of my 4 steps to filling out a green sheet. Again, all with legal justice. Your homework is with the other 6 justice types. You're going to do exactly what I did for legal justice with the 6. And so when you're done, you will put your assignment in this assignment folder at the very bottom. Now, all of the directions are in the voice thread, so make sure you listen to it. If you have any questions, refer back to the voice thread, or you can always email me. And again, I always give you the PowerPoint that I use to make the voice thread because sometimes it's easier just to look back at the slides. Okay, so you should have everything in here that you need in order to complete the green sheets on the other 6 justice types. Then your research is due this week, and so remember, here's what's due. You have to come up with your open research choices. Remember, you are finding one example of each justice type, one story, whether it's nonfiction or fiction, whether it's a children's literature or myth or fable, whether it's something like that, or whether it's nonfiction of a news article of something that's going on right now. You have to find one good open research example for each justice type. Not legal justice, just the other 6. That's one of the things you have to do. The other thing is, don't forget, you're reading all 5 examples in the pool for each justice type, and you're picking your 2 favorite. And then there's a text choices paper where you tell me about your choices and why you made them. That is due this week. Next, I'm going to introduce the next step. It's the Open Research Choices presentation. This is not due until week 10, so you've got some time to be working on this. You cannot start this presentation until your open research choices are complete. Everyone will have read the pool, but I'm going to be putting you in small groups. I'll probably break your pods in half at this point so that you're in groups of like 3 or 4, 5 maybe. We'll see how it goes. But in general, I need to reduce your pods down to smaller groups, and then you will be presenting all of your text choice open research choices to your group mates. It's important that your group mates are familiar with the different texts that you picked because they're the ones that are going to be helping you later on in the process. So we want everyone in your group familiar with your texts. Also, if they have a really fantastic story and when you listen, you're like, oh, I wish I had found that one. You'll see at this point you are allowed to add it to your text set as well. So it's important that you get ready to present your open research choices. You'll present all 6 texts. Now you'll do it in a VoiceThread. The directions are here, and here's a link to VoiceThread so that you can create your own VoiceThread and present your texts. Just follow the directions, but again, it's not due until week 10, just giving you the opportunity to work a little bit ahead if you would like to. That's it for this week. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you in class on Monday, and please come with questions, and I'll see you then.